we got the 4-channel model here, which is the MA6004, which is a 4-channel amplifier. This guy comes with the book, 4 stainless steel screws and 2 auxiliary screws should you blow them up, because you don't know what you're doing with the thing. Now, here's your amplifier. First thing I like to do is give you a once over on the dimensions. And this one here comes in at exactly 12 inches for the chassis. If you add the power strip on the side, that'll bring it up to 13. But in most cases, especially in a marine application, that's not going to be, you know, flush mounted or custom mounted, of course. But I try to be thorough. So you got that 13 inches, 12 inches without. As far as your height, you got just about 9 inches. And over here on your height, you have about 2 1/4 inches to the top plate right here where the LEDs are for the status on the amplifier. So there you have it. It's all white, which looks great in any boat, of course. So I guess we'll start here on the output side, and then we'll get to the nitty-gritty on the more important side over on the opposite end, which is going to have all your filters and adjustments and stuff, which I specialize in. But over here, you have your typical Infinity setup. Harman, I should say, because this is a JBL, so let's try to keep it correct. You have bridgeable outputs for your left and right channels, so you can run this 4-channel, you can run 2 sets here parallel, so you have 2 channels, and you can bridge this and use this side as a subwoofer output, and use this for, say if you had 4 speakers and they were all 8 ohms, you could run this down to 4 ohms. If you had 4 4-ohm speakers, you could have these guys in parallel with 2 ohms and increase your output power here, and use this as a bridged output for your mono or parallel pair of subs, however you're going to use it. So you can use this amplifier for some different ways, but understand that this is their middle of the road, so this is not designed to be like a competition amplifier. But however, if you keep it, you know, within reason, this amplifier can serve you for both purposes. Over here, you have 2 fuses, which tell a lot of information to me. Both of them are rated at 25 amps, which means by Ohm's law, 50 times 12 volts equals more than enough wattage, which the amplifier states that it provides, which is all that important. So on the box it says 320 watts RMS. It's nice to see something like that. It's nice to see manufacturers actually putting more amperage and more output electrically, you know, mathematically wise than the box actually states. It's so popular to see amplifiers such a pioneer to say, oh, you know, 800 watts when the thing could barely even muster out 90, you know, on a good day if all the planets align. So JBL, since it is made by Harman, I love Harman. I use Infinity on my own boat, so you know, I got a soft spot for this company, and I hate to say it, but I have had a lot of good experience with them. However, you know, to be fair, you know, I go with the best stuff. Their Kappa speakers and their Kappa series amplification, or Memphis amps, because I'm crazy like that. But if I was going to go with another boat, say if I just had a regular bow rider and it's a family, you know, day trip kind of boat, and I just wanted something that's a step up, because it's very hard to hear good quality sound on the water, especially when you got a splash and you're moving, you know, you're planing and you're having a good old time and the kids are screaming. Something like this is going to bring up the power, and it's actually going to wake up all your speakers. So if you have some halfway decent speakers, stock speakers, or if you did an upgrade, say to something like this with the speakers that JBL makes in the same line as this, these amplifiers will perform 3 times better with twice as much power. That's just any speaker, but you know, amplifiers, that's what they do. They really give you quality sound. It's not just about louder sound, it's about getting quality sound, and that's why you should buy an amplifier, not for the reason of making things louder. If you want to sound cool to your friends, you could say that, but you should know better, and you should be buying an amplifier for one reason and one reason only, and that's for sound quality. That's what these are for. So you got that, and over here, power ground remote. I'm not going to waste my time talking about that. I want to get over to the side of this amplifier and talk to you about the nitty-gritty now. Here we are at the left side of this amplifier now, and this is the side that really needs and deserves my attention and your you know, watching, because this is really where the meat and potatoes of any amplifier is. So over here you have basically the amplifier set up in two different sections, just like most amplifiers that are in the 4-channel realm. So front input is located here, your 2 RCAs, rear input right here, and then you have an auxiliary output. So if you had, say, a radio with 4 channels of audio outputs and you run 2 sets of RCAs, you'd run your front channel here, rear channel here. You can actually utilize this auxiliary output channel, run it, say, to like a, you know, a regular basic rotary type of knob for subwoofer control or whatever have you, run that out to a subwoofer amplifier, and this would feed the audio, because it would most likely your sub amp is going to be mounted and located right next to your 4-channel amplifier, like most cases. So that's a good little feature that they have there. If you use it, you know, it's there, it's cool. If not, it's there, you know, what can I tell you. Now over here, the rear side is going to mirror what you see on the front side, unlike stuff you would find in the Clarions. Clarions are very different. What they give you is more features in the front and less in the rear. JBL gave you the equal amount of features on the front and rear, so that's a big plus for that. So for them, kudos, and especially because of the price of this amplifier, because it's between $1 and $150. It's dirt cheap, so a lot for the money. So you got here your frequency, which starts at 32 Hertz and works up to 320 Hertz. So this here is your high pass filter. So if you're running on your rear channel and you wanted to limit off low frequencies because you have a real subwoofer that's doing all the grunt work, say if it's playing at 120 Hertz and down, you could set your frequency at 120 Hertz and down, so that way it'll cut the low frequencies from 120 Hertz and down on your rear channel and allow the subwoofer to do all that low grunt work, because, you know, a subwoofer is nothing but audible distortion anyway, as we all know. Let the subwoofer do the dirty work and let this run clean sound, because the less lower frequencies you put into your full range speakers, the higher the output you're going to be able to get out of those things, which is a very good thing. And here you have your 3-way mode, which you could leave it flat, so basically what comes in goes out. But of course, if you're utilizing this, you could have it set to high pass, or you can reverse it and have it as a low pass filter, and just have, you know, say 300 Hertz, you know, you would have 300 Hertz and lower coming through the output of the amplifier, as opposed to a high pass filter, which would do the complete opposite. It would let everything from 320 Hertz all the way up to 20,000 Hertz play through this output. When you do it to low pass filter, it reverses it and it blocks everything from 320 Hertz and up, so it only plays the low frequency. So if you wanted to use this half of the amplifier as a sub output or a subsonic channel, like I was saying on the front, you could use channel 3 and 4 for a bridged output at 2 ohms for a subwoofer. You could do that and use this as a low pass filter, while treating the front as a high pass filter, and actually get a full audio system with utilizing only 4 channels of amplification. Now this amplifier is 4 ohm stable. It's going to run the most efficient and the coolest at 4 ohms, but again, if you wanted to run it at 2 ohms, it says it can, but I have seen reviews in real-time real-time usage from real people saying that they get really pissed off because at really extended lengths of time, prolonged lengths of time to listen to music, just things just rocking, the amplifier will clip or just go off and go into protection mode, because it can't take it can't create the exact heat that it's creating for the output is destroying itself basically. But the good news is that this amplifier will protect itself. It's a good feature. It's a feature to be expected from especially a company like JBL. It is built in, but however, if you're really one of those people that has to have it loud 24 hours, you only know 2 volume levels, which is 0, which is off, and full blast, this is probably not the amplifier for you. You might want to look into something a little bit more powerful, something that's not so MOSFET design. You might want something that's semi or fully digital, so that way you can get the full bang for your buck and actually get more for your money. But for the price that this amplifier goes for, man, this thing does it all, and it does it really well. So that's pretty much it, and I don't have a lot more else to say about this amplifier. I went over the size, I went over the features. It is made by a very good company. It's very nice, it's small, it's compact, and I think it's a good fit for a lot of people. So if you're looking for a good budget, middle of the road marine amplifier, give this guy a look. This is the JBL MA6004. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, still give it a like. So that's it. We'll see you next time.